The Honourable Member for Fort McMurray Cold Lake.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've all heard the Liberal talking points about hiring additional employees, but clearly this hasn't come anywhere close to solving the never-ending wait times at Service Canada. Time is ticking and Canadian stress and frustration continues to grow. This is a process that the government is fully responsible for and a problem that only a minister can fix. The process is clearly broken and Canadians deserve better. When will the minister do her job?
Excellent. The Honourable Minister.
Times in this House, we certainly understand the feelings of Canadians right now who for the past 2 years have done their part and followed public health advice and now are looking to travel again. Of course, over the past 2 years, there have been many passports that have expired. And so while Service Canada's are fully operational. Every kiosk is open. Employees are working around the clock, evenings and weekends to service this demand. The demand is exceptionally high. We haven't seen volumes like this since 2006 when the United States required passports, but all employees at Service Canada, including this government, are going to work extra hard to make sure we can serve Canadians as best as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Just want to remind folks that if you're heckling somebody online, they really can't hear you. The Honourable Member for Dauphin Swan River Neepawa.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians across this country are anxiously waiting for their passports. The government's passport website states, and I quote, "Processing requires 20 business days." But this is not true, Mr. Speaker. Canadians have been waiting months for their passports. And now thousands are being forced to cancel their travel plans because of the Liberal government failed policy in preparing. Instead of blaming Canadians for travelling, when will this government fix the passport crisis they have created?
The Honourable Minister of Families, Children and Social Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And as I just said to the previous member through you, we are experiencing an unprecedented demand. And we recognize that Canadians want to travel. And that's why, back in December, we started hiring 500 additional employees to meet this rise in demand. It's why Service Canada employees are working on evenings, on weekends. In fact, for the past 3 weekends, almost a dozen Service Canada passport locations have been open in the busiest areas across the country to meet this demand. It's why there are employees here in the National Capital Region that are assisting with opening and processing applications. We are throwing
The Honourable Member for Hastings, Lennox and Addington.
Early yesterday morning, I went to a passport office here in Ottawa to renew my family's passports. While I was waiting, I personally heard Passport Canada officials tell people in the line to contact their Member of Parliament for assistance in expediting their applications. My office has been told we don't have that capacity anymore. We cannot submit applications like we used to. All we can do is check them over and ensure they are filled out properly. So, Mr. Speaker, why is this Liberal government passing the buck to Member of Parliament's offices when they full well know they should be taking ownership and fixing their own mistakes?
The Honourable Minister of Families, Children and Social Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, as I have mentioned several times in this House, and I will repeat for the benefit of that member and all members, we are experiencing an unprecedented volume, a volume the likes of which we haven't seen since 2006 when the United States required a passport for Canadians. We have already taken additional measures, and we will continue to keep these measures in place as we recognize that there is a pent-up demand for travel. Service Canada and passport employees are working around the clock. They're working overtime, evenings and weekends to do their very best to meet this increase in demand. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Pont